Good evening and welcome to Cold Spring Elementary. As tonight we have the 6th grade traveling basketball matchup of ROCORI and Eden Valley Watkins. Opening tip controlled by ROCORI. That's Nat. Nat gets it stolen away down low. Eden Valley comes into the offensive end. That's number 42, Caleb. Oh, and the outside shot by number 43, David. David with a sweet outside swish. Griff brings the ball up court. Looks left, looks right. Over to Layton. Layton down on the block, and he's stuffed down low. Tonight we're going to be calling fouls, playing about 15-minute sessions here, but there won't be any free throws. Fouls will just result in a change of possession or continuation of possession. Got Caleb out top, setting up the offense for Eden Valley Watkins. Over to LaMichael. LaMichael driving the lane on Nat and up and in. Unofficially keeping score here. 2 baskets for Eden Valley Watkins and none for ROCORI so far. Layton with the ball on the right wing over to Brody. Brody down on the baseline. Back out top for Mateo. Mateo over to Griff, swinging the ball to Nat. Nat on the left elbow. Griff just top of the free throw line, and he has that one blocked away. Coming back down the other end, number 24, Caleb. And as you can see in that shot, there are 2 number 24s. One is Caleb and one is Braden. We'll try and keep them separate for you. Right now, number 24, Caleb out top. Caleb swings it to the right, stolen away by Griff of ROCORI. Griff takes it down low. Mateo down on the block. He's in amongst the trees and passes it back out to Layton. Layton for the shot. That one comes off. Contested rebound, but grabbed there by Braylon. Up front to LaMichael, and LaMichael with another basket. ROCORI comes into the front court. Griff off to Layton on the right side. Back out top to Nat. Nat drives. Back out to Mateo. Mateo looks left to Griff and then to Brody. Brody over to Layton on the baseline. He drives towards the basket. Has that one go off the front of the rim. Ball stolen back away by ROCORI. Nat comes into the front court. Sets up the offense. Back over to Layton. Layton over to Brody. Brody surveys. Back over to Nat out top. Nat goes around the defenders. Back over to Mateo. Mateo's looking inside. Comes back out to Nat. Over to Griff. To Layton on the left elbow. A lot of good ball movement here by ROCORI. Unfortunately not converting the baskets as they get down low. Stolen away by Layton. Layton over to Nat now to bring it into the front court. Again, ROCORI sets up the offense. Griff sets up from 3. And that one just off. A little bit of a lid on the basket there for ROCORI to start the game. LaMichael down low. Passes it back out. Shot is off by Eden Valley, but rebounded there by number 24, Braden. Put right back up for the basket. Nat into the front court for Griffin. Griffin over to Layton on the baseline. He drives baseline. And there we go. We broke the seal on that basket now for ROCORI. Layton with the first basket for ROCORI. LaMichael brings it into the front court for Eden Valley. Setting up the offense. Looks left over to Caleb. Caleb goes back out top and they reset. You hear him calling out the plays. Screen out top. Down to the baseline, a baseline drive, defended by Griff. Whoa! And some massive collision down on the bottom. Looks like both players get up feeling just fine, none the worse for the wear. And now we've got wholesale substitutions on both sides. Both teams bring in 9 players to this game. So they're virtually subbing the whole team. Nat's the only one who stays in for ROCORI at this point. A few of the guys on each team away for other reasons, other family commitments this evening. Brady gets the ball down low from Blake, puts that one up, comes off, but Nat gets the rebound for ROCORI. Nat with a little dipsy-do out top, looks for Keegan. Keegan back to Nat, and then Nat back to Keegan to Blake on the right side. Blake looks to drive with the left hand. Oh, finds Brady, but the pass is just off. Brady wasn't quite looking for it, headed to the basket, but that comes with time. We're only in the 6th grade. Eden Valley into the front court again. Caleb directing the offense. Caleb defended by Blake. Gets it off, but that shot's a bit off. The rebound by Braden. He goes back up. And then he has it swatted away by Nolan. Swatted out of bounds, so it's going to stay as Eden Valley possession. Eden Valley to inbound now as they run the line. A quick shot off of the inbound play. Rebound comes off. Nolan hustles into the front court, leading the charge for ROCORI. Stops, pulls up, and just off. Rebound there by number 21, Logan. Logan of Eden Valley. Now into the front court is Braden. And back off to Caleb to set up the offense again. Oh, that one just off the hands of number 32, Avery. And the ball will go over to ROCORI. Nolan Valnoy brings it into the front court. Passes down low right to Keegan. Keegan has a little trouble with it, but gets it back to Nolan, and now to Nat on the right side. Keegan back out top. Oh, and he has that one swatted away. Big paw coming up there in the middle. Keegan gets the ball back and drives to the basket, and up and in from the right-hand corner. Eden Valley coming back up the court here. They seem to have their field general in Caleb standing out front, controlling the offense. Comes down low, has it swatted away by Nolan. The rebound down to Eden Valley. They put it back up. Caleb off, and the rebound by Brady Bertram. Brady gets it off to Nolan to again come into the front court. Nolan hesitates and then goes towards the hole where he is fouled at that point. A foul called. Here we have our head coaches on both sides who are doing the officiating, but mostly Coach Van Looy for the ROCORI team. Wholesale substitutions. Again, Blake the only one staying in this time for ROCORI as they rotate through. They're running the box off the baseline. Mateo has the ball out top. Mateo dribbling right over to Griff. Griff looks to drive, and he goes right in. Oh, that basket just in and out. Thought that was going down for sure. That basket seems to be a little temperamental on that end. Maybe next rotation they'll switch ends. LaMichael with the ball out top for Eden Valley. And LaMichael drives all the way around, comes off, and Griff gets the rebound for ROCORI. They're all hustling down floor. Oh, and Griff dribbles it just off of his shin and out of bounds. He was looking to pass, trying to keep his head up, doing the right thing, coming down the floor. But as he did that, the ball just came off to the side. So again, LaMichael brings the ball up court for Eden Valley. As he enters the offensive zone, calling out a play. There's a pick to the left, and LaMichael stands up and looks for the three. That one's off. Contested rebound, but gotten by Eden Valley. Now we've got a bit of a scrum on the far side. Ultimately, ball pops out into Logan's hands. Logan to LaMichael, and LaMichael, again, drives down low. Up and over Mateo for that basket. Blake into the front court. Blake stops and pops just over the three-point line. That one comes off and rebounded by LaMichael. LaMichael into the front court, and he's driving hard, but stopped, cut off by Brody and Blake. And again, the ball comes off into Griff's hands. He seems to be a little bit of a magnet on the defensive end for that rebound. He gets that one, goes all the way to the hole, but again, a little bit out of control as he went towards the basket and the ball coming right off. Guys are running out there. Getting a lot of good work in here tonight. This is Carter. Carter's on the left-hand side. He dishes back to LaMichael. LaMichael with the ball down low. There's a bit of a scrum again. It looks like Mateo's at the bottom of that pile. He is the ROCORI player that has the wonderful feature of being closest to the floor most of the time, so he is able to pick up some of those loose balls. Eden Valley gets the ball down low on the change of possession. They run the line. 25, Braylon with the ball. Has it knocked away by Mateo again. Quite the defense being played by Mateo right here on this possession. Blake guarding out top against David. David setting up the offense. Blake's pressuring tightly. David drives to the right. Looks like a foul was called on the right side there on Griff as the Eden Valley player David tried to move towards the basket, just a little reaching in. Some substitutions by Eden Valley. Bringing the ball in here and driving right to the hoop by number 42, Caleb. That one again off. A bit of a loose ball scramble there off of White. It's going to be black ball for ROCORI here. Again, 4 new players in for ROCORI. Get some fresh bodies in there. Nat brings it into the front court, off to the right for Keegan. Keegan finds Griff coming around the screen. He tries to drive the lane, but that's knocked away over to Nat. Nolan takes the ball and again tries to drive the lane. He finds Brady down low. Brady goes up with it, just off the mark. And it looked like Nolan tried to go up there, but Eden Valley player Caleb caught the ball on the way up and called a jump ball. ROCORI retains possession on the jump ball. Griff gets the ball coming around the picket fence, and there it is, right in. Griff seems to have the handle here going in this first session tonight. Caleb from Eden Valley, off to David. David looks on the give and go. Up, back over. The loose ball just ended up in the hands of the Eden Valley Watkins player, number 25, Braylon. But his shot was a little off. Out of bounds. Goes to ROCORI. Nat brings it into the front court. Nat again looks right for Brady Bertram. Brady finds Keegan out top. Keegan drives the lane, again finds Brady. That's the second time that they've looked for Brady there on that low baseline move. But the pass both times has gone right underneath the basket instead of over to Brady where he's set up. Caleb from Eden Valley back out top now. Guarded by Nat. They're laying off a little bit. Kind of challenging them to take the three-point shot. Neither team has had a lot of success with the three-pointer so far, so not a bad defensive strategy to let them shoot from out there. Pack it in a little bit down low. Now we've got a little bit of loose ball in the middle. Some players in the middle of the lane there. We've got Braylon from Eden Valley. He gets it off to number 24, Braden. Got some great names here. Brady, Brody, Blake, Braden, Braylon, Layton. They're all in this game. So challenge for the announcer. Let's just say that. Keegan saves the ball on the baseline for ROCORI, but he saves it right in. Again to Braylon from Eden Valley. Again, a long shot off. Rebound comes down. And that one looks like it went off of Eden Valley. Out of bounds. So black ball. I hear the referee calling out 15 seconds to go. Nat comes into the front court. Off to Griff. Griff looks, drives inside to the trees. Back out to Nat for the three-pointer. That one's off. Bertram with the rebound. Bertram goes right back up and cannot convert. And there's the end of our first session. Since this is a scrimmage, we're not really keeping score. I can say as a unbiased observer, I think that that first session was won by Eden Valley. But we're going to take about a 5-minute timeout here and give the guys an opportunity to get some water and get a brief blow, and then come right back to live action for about another 15-minute session. All right, here we come back to live action again. We're running 6th grade ROCORI traveling boys basketball against Eden Valley Watkins in a scrimmage here at Cold Spring Elementary. Rebound comes down in our second session here to Nolan Van Looy. Nolan brings it quickly into the front court, looks right for Nat. Nat with the jumper just off. Long rebound comes out to number 42, Caleb, and he goes end to end, but the layup comes off. Keegan with the board for ROCORI. Blake brings it in the front court, sets up the offense, swings left to Keegan. Keegan goes all the way down, and he goes right for the basket and one. Nice play by Keegan there, driving the lane and getting the basket to go with a strong move. As I said earlier, we won't be calling fouls for free throw purposes, just for the purposes of possession here. So went right back to Eden Valley. Long shot there by LaMichael. That shot off close to NBA 3 range. Blake brings the ball in the front court, swings right to Nat, back out top to Blake, over to the left to Bertram. Back over to Nolan. Nolan comes up from the baseline, has it knocked away, and there we are. A bit of a scramble. Blake comes away with it strong. Nolan is standing in the middle of the lane. He gets it to Nolan, and as Nolan goes up, he is fouled by number 42, Caleb. So a foul down low, and ROCORI will inbound. That's Brady. Brady with the ball, gets it right into Nat. Nat passes up the shot, goes out top for Blake to Nolan. Oh, Nolan with a nice fake and then into the lane, but the jumper comes off. Again, a long rebound getting knocked around. Blake retains it, gets it to Nolan. Nolan goes to the hole, but that's off. And then Keegan gets the rebound, goes right back up. So here in this second session, ROCORI has really stepped it up on the boards. That was a problem for them in the first session. I heard Coach Van Looy during the timeout giving them a few pointers, and it seems to be paying off thus far. So Nat with the ball now on the inbounds, and he looks for Bertram down low. Bertram back out top to Blake Kelly. Blake gets the ball, looks for Keegan, moving right down the lane, and a nice feed. The assist from Blake down to Keegan. Keegan's got a couple baskets here already this evening. LaMichael sets up the offense from outside. Attempted screen there by Eden Valley to no avail. Van Looy got right around it. LaMichael's shot is off, but then he gets his own rebound, and he's fouled as he attempts the putback. So Eden Valley will retain possession on the baseline. They set up their line. They step out, a little bit of not a lot of movement there coming out of the break. But apparently a foul called on Nolan Van Looy by his father. It looks like he's very appreciative of that call. LaMichael to inbound for Caleb. Caleb looks to go inside. That's swatted away by Bertram. Bertram, and the basket comes off, or the ball comes off to Nat, who brings it into the front court, and as he's about to go up, he's fouled hard by LaMichael. A little frustration, I think, there by LaMichael, but did prevent the easy basket for Nat as he went for the free throw, for the layup. Mateo to inbound for ROCORI. They run the box. As Mateo goes to inbound, it's stolen away by number 43, David. David gets it back out top for Caleb. Caleb sets it up and dribbles around Griff right down the middle of the lane. And Brody and Caleb are down low, wrestling around. Wrestling match broke out at the basketball game, and ROCORI retains possession. So Nolan inbounds to Griff. Griff calls out the offense as they come into the front court. Oh, they had that play diagnosed, and David picked it right off. David comes into the front court, but pushes it back out top for Braylon. Braylon's, again, three-point attempt comes off. Caleb now with the ball, and he shoots for three, and that's off. But rebounded down low by Caleb. Puts it right back in. Van Looy out top for ROCORI. Van Looy drives with the left hand. Nice. He drove left-handed, which was very good, and then switched to the right hand as he was going up for the layup. So nice basket there for Van Looy. Van Looy guarding out top again on Braylon. Some tight defense. They do escape the trap there. Comes back off to Caleb on the left side. Caleb back out top for number 32, Avery. And Van Looy knocks that one away again. Braylon and Van Looy again with, I think, the third steal in that possession. Oh, and now he gives it up on a turnover. And it goes right back to Layton, and now Mateo has it. Goes right to Griff. Griff looks right in the middle of the lane for Mateo, and then he gets the ball back on the give and go. That shot's just off, but rebounded by Layton as he got extended himself and got nice and tall. Coach Van Looy calls the double dribble on the far side of the court. Now David inbounds to Caleb. Caleb again drives right. Defended by Mateo and cut off there. Gets it off to Braylon, who's guarded closely by Nolan. And Eden Valley with the shot from the baseline comes down, and again, Griff with the rebound, but the attempt to rip it away there by number 25, Braylon of Eden Valley, results in a jump ball call by Coach Van Looy. Braylon to inbound for Eden Valley. Wide open shot from the right-hand side is true. That one goes down just inside the three-point line. So they've tried to attempt a few from the outside, but that seems to not quite be the range that they have this evening. But just a couple steps inside the line there, nothing but net. Griff with the ball now for ROCORI out top. Griff to the right for Nolan. Dribbles with the left hand and then back to the right. Pulls it back out, seeing nothing. Over to Layton on the left. Swings it even further left for Griff. Griff gets it. Shot comes off and off of his toes, again out of bounds. Now we've got the wholesale substitution here by ROCORI. Mateo stays in the game and all four other players come on out at this point. Eden Valley also choosing to make a couple of substitutions. Coach Van Looy appropriately counting the number of players on the court to make sure that we're even up, 5-5. No power plays here in basketball. Caleb gets the ball, brings it back out top with a big three-point shot by Caleb. That one's off, but it goes off of the ROCORI player and out of bounds. Bertram tried to save it, swatted it back in, but not in time. So now we'll have Logan from Eden Valley inbounding the ball. Pretty big lineup in there right now for Eden Valley. Comes again out to Braylon, who takes that outside shot, but hasn't been able to find it yet tonight. This time the loose ball goes out of bounds over to ROCORI. Blake brings the ball in the front court, calling out the offense. Looks over to Bertram on the right side. Bertram out top, goes left for Nat. Nat sets it up at the top of the key. Nat over to Keegan. Keegan goes around his defender and back out to Nat. Nat sets up for the three. That one rolls around the rim and off. Rebound comes back down to Braylon. Braylon attempts to stop on the outside, and again, just a foot on the three-point line. That's off. Caleb gets the rebound, and then the rebound comes down again to the other Caleb. Caleb and Caleb on the connection there for the two-point basket for Eden Valley. Now Bertram in the front court for ROCORI. Over to Blake. Blake gets the ball. He's in amongst the trees there, and as he tries to jump stop and look for a teammate, he walks. This time we've got Braden driving the lane for Eden Valley, and as he does, he's fouled. So it'll be Eden Valley basketball out of bounds on the baseline. They have been running a line to this point on these out of bounds plays, but this time they go with the box. Inbound to Caleb. Caleb goes around Blake, but misses the shot. Rebound down to Blake. Blake comes into the front court, looks for the shot, but then decides to dish off to Brady, who's standing down low on the left-hand block. But before Brady can get the shot off, he is swatted there by Braylon. On the swat, the ball ended up out of bounds, so ROCORI is going to inbound from down low. They're running their customary box, but it looked like it didn't quite come off just perfect. Still effectively got the ball inbounds. Brody up top for ROCORI. Looks back over to Nolan on the left side. Nolan drives the lane and before shooting, thinks better of it and passes off to Brady. Brady picks up the ball on the outside, then looks inside, and oh, there he goes with a nice shot. Brady, on some occasions, he seems to be hesitant to shoot, and but when he does, it's true. Nice shot by Brady. Now Eden Valley coming down the floor, passing right. And again, Braylon from the outside. That shot high off the glass, rebounded by Brody. Brody's going to bring it up court this time. As he does, he passes right to Griff. Nolan comes around the screen, looks for three. That one comes off the back of the iron, down to Layton, but Layton knocks it over to Brady. Brady picks it up, tries to go up with it, comes off, and rebounded by Braden for Eden Valley. Caleb again coming into the front court. Substitutes waiting on the sideline for both teams. Caleb passes left, but that's intercepted by Griff. The ball's bouncing around like a volleyball and out of bounds. I think this could go either way. It was tough to see on the far side. Coach Van Looy over on the far side. Ball's going to go to ROCORI. All the substitutions in. Everybody lining up. I got one, I got four, and away we go. Nolan into the front court, passes left for Griff. Griff over to Layton on the baseline, comes back out to Griff. Griff goes left with the spin move, and up and in. Nice shot for Griff. It's good to see him get back on track. At the St. Cloud tournament, he did so well. Seemed like he could not miss. Now LaMichael out top for Eden Valley. The screen for LaMichael. He gets it off to the right side. And again, the attempt on a long three-pointer comes off. And Griff gets the long rebound and is fouled. So ROCORI will retain. A quick switch here for ROCORI as I sense the time is running down on our second session. Depending on the legs and the wind of these players, the two coaches have agreed to either play 3 or 4 sessions tonight. Blake goes right through the middle of the lane. That layup comes off and rebounded there by Logan. Logan to LaMichael. He gets it right up front court to Avery. Avery back to LaMichael, and now LaMichael sets up for the long three. Rebounded by Mateo. Mateo gets the ball, tries to pass it up front court to Nat. That gets intercepted in the backcourt by Avery. Avery off to LaMichael. LaMichael guarded by Blake, and the screen called out. Blake gets through. Ooh. Blake gets knocked around a little bit down low. Blake's had a bit of a chronic knee issue as he had some significant road rash from an earlier game. These floors can get a little tough when you go sliding across them. It sticks with you for a couple weeks too. So I think that one got him right on the same rash. He was called for the foul on that play, and now Eden Valley brings the ball up. LaMichael with possession, looking to the right for his colleague. And he goes a little bit wild on the pass, and that's going to be an over and back. So Griff inbounds for ROCORI over to Nat. Nat looking over for Keegan on the right side. Mateo comes around the screen. Nicely run play. Mateo in the middle of the lane gets it back outside to Nat. Nat on the left-hand side, a little bit of an off-balance shot. That doesn't go. Comes back down to Caleb. Caleb bringing it in the front court quickly for Eden Valley. Caleb coming through the key and back out. Now he goes around Griff to the lane. Little bit wild, and the ball's swatted away as he comes down the lane. Griff gets it, brings it back up into the front court. Griff is going end to end and then looks back outside for Layton. Layton tries to go up, and as he does, there's a mutual possession of that ball. And so we're going to call a jump ball. Subs coming in for Eden Valley. Checking into the game, number 25, Braylon, and number 42, Caleb. ROCORI retains possession on the jump ball. Layton to inbound. He gets it off to Griff in the corner. Griff looks for some help, passes back out to Nat. Nat back to Griff on the baseline. Griff goes up, has it partially blocked. And the ball's rebounded there by Eden Valley, and that was number 42, Caleb, but as he looked for the pass to the low right block, Griff came screaming down court, knocked it out of bounds. Braylon inbounding, gets it off to Avery. Avery goes up and back down. That's a travel. ROCORI inbounds, and here comes Griff. Griff down to Mateo, and he finds him down low. Mateo goes up with the shot, and that's just off. He had a good look down there from the baseline. Caleb with the ball, gets it off to Braylon. Braylon's shot is off. Griff with the rebound, everybody hustling down court, and Keegan leading the way. Griff looks inside, tries to put up the basket. That comes off the iron, back out top for Mateo, and over to Nat. Layton gets the ball, and he tries to cut to the lane. Ball is high off the backboard, rebounded by Mateo, over to Nat. Back over to Mateo for the shot. Oh, just off. You know the whole team is cheering when Mateo takes his shot, just waiting for that thing to fall down. Caleb out top, he gets the screen assist there on Mateo. Griff again with another steal. He's got quick hands. Goes all the way down from the left-hand side, up and in. Griff is playing a really good game on defense and getting rewarded on the offensive end with some nice shots, some easier buckets on the layups. Mateo guarding Caleb up top. Griff with a nice guard there on Avery. Excuse me, that's Caleb, the other Caleb, who passes to Caleb down low and over to Braylon. Again, another case of a player going up to shoot, having mutual possession going up on the block. And so, jump ball. This jump ball goes over to Eden Valley. Eden Valley inbounds. Over to Braylon. He gets a little shorter shot. He's been taking a lot of outside shots, but that time he gets it. And the rebound there, a good box out by Brady Bertram. Brady brings the ball up court with the rest of his team in tow. Starts looking for the lane. Gets it back out to Nat. Nat goes left hand, then sees Brady on the right. Brady goes up. Looked like he might have been fouled on that shot, but no call by Coach Van Looy. Caleb into the front court. He's hustling, guarded by Blake, who's back in there after a brief respite and apparent injury, but he's back. Nolan with the loose ball. Comes into the front court. Looks back out for Nat for a three-pointer. Ooh, that one looked like it was going in, but just came off. Rebound there by Avery. Got it off to their field general, Caleb, who comes into the front court. The left-hand screen. Caleb goes around and makes the basket. Now Blake brings ROCORI up the court, goes right to Nolan. Nolan surveys. There's a nice screen by Bertram. Nolan takes the shot after the screen, but it's off and rebounded quickly, brought into the front court by Eden Valley's Caleb. He takes it, dishes it off to the other, number 24, Braden. Braden gets it off for the three-point attempt. That three-point attempt was by Caleb. Now Bertram gets the rebound and brings it into the front court for ROCORI. Over to Blake on the right side. Skip pass to Nat. Nat to Brody. Brody back to Nat. Nat looks to drive the lane, but he runs into some opposition. Quickly dishes to Brody, and Brody gets it back to Nat. Good save there by Brody. Nat goes right down, in, and some good help defense down low there by Eden Valley. Prevented Nat from getting to the basket. Now Caleb gets it, and he dishes back down to the other Caleb for ROCORI. So we've got the Caleb connection for another 2-point basket. All right, well, that brings us to the end of our second session of play. Both teams will have the opportunity to get a little bit of a respite here and get a little more coaching on both sides. We'll take about a 5-minute intermission and come back momentarily. All right, and welcome back to our third session here, coming to you live from Cold Spring Elementary. Got Layton passing it down low for Keegan. The ball is knocked away by Eden Valley. Eden Valley Watkins, 6th grade team here against the ROCORI 6th grade traveling basketball team, and a basket there quickly by Caleb to start our third session. Griff comes into the front court. Griff off to Layton on the right-hand side. Guarded closely by Carter from Eden Valley. Over to Layton, and Griff back out top for 3. That one's off. Rebound battled for there by Mateo and Caleb, and knocked out of bounds off of the Eden Valley player, Caleb, number 24. Brody Roush to inbound for ROCORI. Screens all over, knocked away there by Eden Valley. LaMichael into the front court, and as he does, looked like a travel to me, but no call by Coach Van Looy. Just one announcer's opinion. Here comes Griff back down the other way. Griff over to Keegan. Keegan looks left, looks right, drives left. Back out top for Layton. Layton off to Griff, and he sees the three-pointer wide open. He says, why not? Layton with the strong rebound there. Ball was a jump ball call, but Eden Valley gets possession on the jump ball. LaMichael bringing it into the front court. LaMichael setting up the offense. There's a pick out top on Roush. And LaMichael right down the lane after the pick and scores the basket. Once again, Griff bringing the ball up court. Looked like Layton was wide open on the baseline there, but didn't see him at first. Then Eden Valley figured out when they matched up on the man-to-man. So sometimes as you start your next session, guys aren't quite sure which numbers they're covering, so that happens. LaMichael with the NBA length three, and that one misses everything out of bounds. So ROCORI ball on the turnover. And ROCORI makes an early substitution here in the third session. Blake still with a little bit of a hobble there. Came over during the intermission and said he needed a new Band-Aid as his scab had come off and started bleeding again. So, back out. Bertram drives the lane. Oh! Wrapped around like a toilet bowl there and came off, and unfortunately rebound comes down to Eden Valley. LaMichael into the front court, guarded closely by Nolan Van Looy. Van Looy over there. LaMichael gets it off. Blake blocking out two guys, gets the rebound and off to Nat. Nat quickly brings it into the front court, looks over to Bertram. Bertram sets up and misses the shot. Over to Nolan on the rebound. Nolan kicks it out to Blake, and Blake puts it in. Nice passing there by ROCORI. All the players rewarded when they get the opportunity. Everybody touched the ball on the way down the floor that time. Now Caleb setting up the offense again. A double pick out top. ROCORI recovers nicely from the picks. Keegan has to set it, Caleb has to set it up again out top. Nat guards him closely. He gets it off. And Bertram with nice defense there on the other Caleb as he tries to drive the lane. Ball comes off, and Van Looy brings it into the front court. Van Looy to the right for Brady. Brady's looking for an open man. Sees no one, so he decides to drive. Fouled as he does. Ball comes off. ROCORI setting up for their out-of-bounds play. This time they're running the line. They've been running a box for most of the night. And looking at the line, nobody's open. Nolan gets it out to Nat on the top right. Nat drives left and into the lane for the nice runner. Coming into the front court now for Eden Valley is Braylon. Braylon with the ball out top. And a little bit of a reach in there by Van Looy. Eden Valley in white on the far side, inbounding the ball. Caleb sets up. Off to the right. And Braylon again with a long one. Had his foot on the line, so that was just a two, but finally puts one of those long shots down. Bit of a rainbow there, probably give him a little bit of confidence. Now Brady gets the ball on the baseline and again drives and again fouled. When Brady has been playing aggressively in this game and taking his shots and going in, he's been either converting or getting fouled. So a real positive way for him to go. Now he inbounds quickly to Nat. Nat gets the ball. Misses his shot. Comes down to Caleb. This 24, Caleb from Eden Valley, seems to be in the right place at the right time very often in this scrimmage. Now Braylon comes in from the wing and gets the pass down low and puts that one in for Eden Valley. Van Looy off to the right for Nat. Nat over to Blake on the left. He shoots from 3. That just hits the front of the rim. The attempt for the rebound there by the other Caleb, I like to call him, from Eden Valley, number 42. Goes off of him out of bounds and inbounded by ROCORI. Blake was there. Looked like he wanted to go up with the shot, but the bigger player from Eden Valley was in front of him, and he knew better than to take that shot. A little bit of a skirmish there for the ball, and Eden Valley gets possession coming back down the other way. Braden off to Braylon, and the Braylon shot was long on the 3. Blake gets the rebound and drives it all the way down the floor. Has it knocked away there. He's on the floor trying to get away to his teammate Nat, and he does. Nat sets up for 3. I don't think you're going to see a guy get an assist very often from his backside, but that's what happened there for Blake as he got it off to Nat on the scramble. Caleb over to Braylon, and Braylon back to Caleb on that shot. That's off. Eden Valley attempts to control the ball as it's going out of bounds, but no luck. ROCORI making wholesale substitutions, and Eden Valley with a few substitutions of their own. So looks like pretty much everybody on a wholesale substitution here. One of the greatest sights you're ever going to see. Mateo is being guarded by Logan here as they come down the floor. This should be interesting. Layton gets the ball on the baseline. He goes up, and that's off. Rebound comes down, fought for. Braden just a little bit stronger. Brings it into the front court and dishes off to LaMichael. LaMichael guarded by Blake up top. Blake's trying to stay on his toes. Pushes him to the right-hand side, and LaMichael drives down the lane. Gets the basket to go. Griff coming back up, dishes off right to Blake. Blake looked for Mateo down low. That didn't happen. Back out top to Brody. Brody over to Layton on the right. Griff at the top of the key, and he puts up for 3. That's off. Brody down low, but can't get the rebound as it comes down to Braylon. Braylon off to LaMichael into the front court. Here comes Braylon on the, LaMichael on the far side. He dishes over to Logan. Logan takes a shot from the right elbow. It comes off very strong. Down to Mateo and just bounces off Mateo out of bounds there. Eden Valley to inbound. That's Braylon on the inbound. Braylon off to LaMichael. LaMichael drives the lane, and he's successful. LaMichael seems to have a little bit of a natural knack for going to the hole and putting that ball down. Mateo gets the ball. Looked like he went right around Logan, a little faster than Logan. Got to learn to capitalize on your strengths. Take advantage of the opponent's weaknesses. Blake gets the ball. Griff cuts for the lane right about the time Blake was distributing the ball, and so it goes off of Griff's hands out of bounds. Eden Valley with possession. Griff guarding the ball out top. Playing tight defense. Trying to set up a pick there. Griff's having none of it. Playing very strong. Braylon gets the ball down on the right-hand post there. Goes around Blake and up and in for the basket. Mateo gets the ball down low. Brody's going to inbound down low for ROCORI. Coach is just conferring here for a moment on how long they want to play. Trying to make sure guys aren't getting too winded tonight. Nice part is for ROCORI at least, they're off tomorrow and Monday, so they've got a long weekend to recover. Griff shot is off, comes down to Logan. Logan loads up and shot puts it down to Braylon. Braylon gets the ball. He looks to shoot from outside, and he does. Comes off to Griff. Griff quickly uses his speed to come back the other way. Now he sets up for three. That's off. And the rebound there down to Braden. Got a little bit of a track meet setting up, going back and forth here. Braylon hustles down the floor, and he's rewarded down on the block with an easy layup. Roush into the front court for Griffin. Griff has the ball, looks for Blake, cutting down the lane. That comes off. He gets his own rebound. There's a bit of a skirmish there for the ball, and LaMichael and Blake both come down with it, but we're going to call that the end of our third session. So I'm going to step away for a few minutes here, probably just be 3 or 4. The coaches are quickly going to confer with their teams, and then as we'll come back for one more session. Again, we're coming to you live from Cold Spring Elementary, or as Brent Musburger would say, you're looking live at a sold-out Cold Spring Elementary. Of course, sold out means that there's like 3 of us in the building. So we'll be back with you in just a few minutes. All right, again, coming to you live from Cold Spring Elementary. Here we are with 6th grade traveling basketball. Eden Valley in the gray and ROCORI in the black. A long shot there to start our 4th session by Eden Valley. Rebounded down to Braylon. Braylon puts it right back up for Eden Valley for the basket. We've had 4 sessions here, really competitive basketball, so it's been good for the kids to have the opportunity to be in the gym. Nolan gets the ball there, tries to go to his left, and a foul called in the lane. Again, for those of you just joining us, we are not shooting free throws tonight, just possession on any foul. Inbound there by ROCORI. ROCORI off to Nat. Nat takes the shot on the baseline and down and in. So a couple quick baskets here to start that 4th session. Braylon gets the ball out top. Braylon back over to Caleb. Caleb guarded by Nolan. Caleb over to Braylon, and that shot is off. Rebound down to Bertram. Bertram brings it down court over to Nolan. Nolan gets the ball on the baseline, but tries to go up and loses the handle as he does. Frustrated with himself, but that happens. Caleb for Eden Valley brings it up. Nolan challenges him as he crosses half court. Screens on both sides, but Nolan works through. Back off. Eden Valley with the shot. A mutual rebound there between 2 number 25s. That's Braylon and Keegan. Possession on the jump ball is going to come over to ROCORI. Quick substitutions there. Coach Roush getting the guys in and out. Blake brings it into the front court, dishes off to Nolan. Nolan sets up for the long 3. That's off. As it comes into the front court, it's knocked away from Avery by Nolan. Nolan, the ball comes over to Griff. Griff tries to drive, and as he does, it's knocked away by Avery out of bounds, so ROCORI will retain. Blake will set up to inbounds under the basket. ROCORI running their box. Inbound comes to Nolan. Nolan looks to shoot. He uses backboard, but it comes off the front of the rim. Again, you can compare this to track or to tennis. We're going back and forth pretty quickly. And Blake's trying to take advantage by coming into the front court. Gets it off to Griff. Griff down on the block to Nolan. Nolan uses his strength and goes up and puts it in. Nice play there. Corey passing the ball nicely and Nolan posting up very well. Again, Nolan guarding out top. He steals the ball away from Braylon, but Braylon recovers and then tries to toss off to his teammate Caleb. And Griff with the steal. Griff brings it into the front court. Dishes off to Nolan, and Nolan misses the baseline J. But again, Griff with another steal. A lot of back and forth here at this point. You kind of sense that both teams are getting a little bit tired. Nolan dishes to Blake at the top of the key. Blake tries to get a 3-pointer, but that won't go. Saved from going out of bounds by Layton. Now Blake tries to go down low and gets into the trees in a little bit of trouble. Trying to pass it off. And ball, not quite sure exactly what the call is there from Coach Van Looy, but goes over to Gray. Into the front court. ROCORI calling out the screen. Nolan gets through the screen. Back off to Caleb again. Caleb looks to go right, trying to find some room. Now off to Carter. Carter gets the ball back over to Caleb. Caleb again driving down the lane, and that one just tipped away by Nolan, but Nolan called for the foul. All the guys breathing pretty heavy as they're coming off the court at this point, as we're coming up close to the 8 o'clock hour here. I think we'll be done by 8 o'clock as gym time runs out. Eden Valley inbounds to Caleb. Caleb takes the shot right away. It goes off and rebounded by ROCORI. Joint work there by Brody and Griff. Brody brings it into the front court to Nat. Nat looks right for Griff. Griff uses his speed to go around Logan. And up and off, rebounded by Brady. Brady dishes to Keegan. Keegan misses that shot, comes down to Braden. Now just as they cross over midcourt, Griff attempts to get the steal. unsuccessful that time, but he's had quite a few steals tonight. So good quick movements on his part. Caleb gets the ball here in the left-hand corner. Looks to set up for three. That's off. Rebounded by LaMichael. And LaMichael tries to take it right back up, and he's fouled by Brady. The out-of-bounds play going to be run here by Eden Valley. Setting up the box. The shot taken there by Caleb on the baseline on the inbound play and put right in. So quick two on the inbound. Nat brings the ball into the front court. Keegan looks to go left. As he does, he runs into Caleb. Dishes off to Brady Bertram. That is swatted away as Brady goes up. And now Eden Valley brings it into the front court. Little bit of a travel, but no call by Coach Van Looy. Dishes right to LaMichael, and LaMichael puts it in the hoop. LaMichael has a number of baskets in the scrimmage here tonight. Speaking of guys with a number of baskets, that was Griff again, number 22 for ROCORI, hitting on about a 12-foot jumper. Big screen out top there by Logan on Nat. He's going to use the ice bath after the game here tonight. Off to LaMichael. LaMichael being guarded by Brody Roush. And down low on the baseline there, rebounded by Keegan. Keegan off to Brody, and he gets it into Nat's hands, who quickly brings it up court. Looks down to Brady Bertram. Bertram on the baseline. Can't get that shot to go. A little frustration. Now LaMichael with the quick rebound and into the front court for Eden Valley. Goes over to Caleb. Caleb looks, dishes back out top for Braden. Braden gets the ball and gets it on the baseline. That shot looked like it was all but in, but rebounded by Bertram. Bertram aggressively moving down court, and he uses his power to back in. And then the first shot is off, but he gets his own rebound and goes right back up with it. Gets fouled in the process. So nice sequence there for Brady with the rebound. Taking it all the way down court, backing in. Shot up, off, his own rebound. And still retaining the ball here. LaMichael went over the inbound line there on the inbound, so that's why Coach Van Looy used it as an instructional moment. Layton trying to inbound. And as he does, that ball is tipped up into the air by LaMichael. Layton did not reestablish possession inbounds before grabbing the ball, and so the ball is turned over to Eden Valley. Right-hand side there, a big shot by Eden Valley. The rebound is a scramble. You see Coach Van Looy throwing up his hands because he couldn't see it all the way in the far corner of the Eden Valley coach saying it was black ball. Keegan gets the ball, drives baseline, that comes off. Down to number 42, Caleb of Eden Valley. He brings it all the way down. Does the little runner in the lane, that's off. Comes down to Braden on the rebound, and that's stolen away by Nolan. Nolan comes all the way down court. He's guarded closely by LaMichael, passes off to Layton. Layton tries to go up with it, but can't get it to go. Ball's going to... Coach Van Looy calling out 2 minutes here. 2 minutes left to play in this fourth session. I think he can sense the guys are dogging it. He's getting a little tired out there. LaMichael hits the ground hard. He travels. Nolan was playing some good defense there, and he was up on him. LaMichael just kind of lost control. Inbounded now by Blake to Nolan. Nolan brings it into the front court. Looks to go aggressively, but then sees he's cut off by LaMichael. Dishes left to Blake. Blake has the ball in the left-hand wing. As he tries to drive, it's stolen away. LaMichael brings it back down the other way, and he looks to pass it And Blake steals it right back in the lane. Blake now brings it into the front court. As he does, he looks for Mateo on the right-hand side. And the assist by Blake over to Mateo. The crowd is going wild here. And by the crowd, I mean his teammates. Well, Michael, a little more control this time than last time. Taking his time out top, guarded closely by Nolan. Gets it over to Braylon. Braylon down low to Braden. Back out to Braylon for the rainbow three. That comes off, and it's a jump ball between Blake and LaMichael. They seem to be finding out each other an awful lot here. Got substitutions for both teams with about a minute left to play. Eden Valley to inbound. The inbound is an errant inbound, picked up by Brady Bertram, moves into the front court. Dishes to Nat on the left wing. Over to Brody at the top of the key. Brody up, and that's good. Nice shot. Assist to Nat. Basket for Brody. Coming into front court, Caleb. Caleb stops out top. Nice, stops his dribble. He gets a little caught. Goes over to Braylon on the far right-hand side. Braylon goes up with it. That comes off. Rebounded by Brody. Brody's going to close out this game strong with a basket and a rebound. Now comes into the front court. Looks for Griff. Griff down low to Nolan, who's all by himself, and then fakes up. And it rolls around every part of the rim and comes back out. Now a left-handed pass there. Looked like, Kyler Murray from Caleb down to Braylon. That comes off. Griff brings it into the front court, decides to shoot. A little tough here without a clock. I think the guys sense that the game's about over, so they're throwing up some shots they might not normally throw up. Nat gets the ball from Brody. That's just off and rebounded by Caleb for Eden Valley. Caleb hustling down court. Looks for Braylon again down on that right-hand block. And as Braylon goes up, he's fouled by Brody. Just a few seconds left here on this loosely timed game. Braylon's going to inbounds for Eden Valley, gets it to Carter. Carter gets the ball, goes back to Braylon. Braylon puts it up from outside. That's off, comes down. And as the rebound comes down to Caleb, number 42 for Eden Valley, he's fouled by Van Looy. Eden Valley sets up in the line for the inbound underneath their own basket. Inbound to Caleb, and Caleb comes away with an easy two. They've run that play a few times, and it seems to be clicking on all cylinders. Brody on the right wing. Brody looks to drive, then back out to Nat on the right wing. Nat goes down the middle of the lane. That's off. Rebound comes down.